spoilers. Um, well, technically, to be honest, it was interesting, but to be fair, this is still shit writing. I mean, you want the catharsis and all to make Homelander feel like a little baby who would grovel and shit like that. The same thing as the Deep. But the truth is, someone like Homelander was raised, right? It's understandable. You know, he took revenge in the Darkness. But the thing is, I mean, this is not really good writing. I'm not going to defend Homelander, but the truth is, Homelander wouldn't probably cower and whimper like he does here. And, you know, because he'd be full of rage. He'd say Becca, etc., etc., nothing works, you know, and then in the end it's just like, he should be a bit like Butcher, right? Because he grew up, you know, with nothing. Like, they were tortured kids. He literally had nothing. So he should feel anger. I mean, think about it. What stops him from punching out the same way? Like, his hand-to-hand skills shouldn't change or diminish without his powers. I mean, take a look at him fighting here. In Season 3, Season 4, see, you look at it. Those powers of enhanced reflex speed and stuff like that, it shouldn't be changed. So, what's the difference? It shouldn't be. So, it's quite weird to think that the writers have told, oh, Homelander ends up like a sniveling bitch. In fact, I'm writing a script myself. It's a short film. And I have had blocks at times that I've used AI for it, but turns out that it's better to have a block than to just say, fuck it, let's just finish the whole damn season. I think this episode was poor, it was rushed, it was contrite. You know, when the Deep was fighting Justice he should have said, hey, it's not me, it's Noir. He would have said that. He wouldn't have been so pathetic to say, hey, it's not wrong. He would have defended himself. If he keeps acting like the alpha male, you know, of course he's panicking. And he's saying he's sorry. The first thing you do is saying, it's not me, it's Noir, it's fucking Black Noir. I had nothing to do with it. It was this fucking guy, man. He punched a hole, not me, and I killed him. Do you want to hear me out first? It would have gone like that, rather. And I forgot, there's the Deep. Can the Deep breathe underwater easily? Like, why doesn't he dive down and he talks to those sea creatures? So, yeah, when you see here, he tries to act same, but of course his power's out. But I think that's also the result of the pain and the disbelief. But technically speaking, he shouldn't act this way. You know, Homelander has a lot of hatred in him. You know, a lot of fucking hatred. I don't think it's fair to say that he will be a cowering, whimpering, sniveling little, you know, shit that, you know, begs for his life and does whatever pathetically. I think that's poor writing. Should be the Homelander, say scorched earth, meaning he'll fight to the bitter end, even if his powers are gone. I mean, clearly that they were going to go for that in Season 2. And I knew it was going to end that way, to be honest. And they did. It was predictable. But unfortunately, the characterization, Narcissists aren't cowering. If you think about it, right? Homelander's got every textbook mental disorder, right? Bipolar or narcissism, stuff like that. Have you ever seen a narcissist cower and whimper like that when he's got nothing left? No, he tells himself, screw you. He's going to have more hatred and he's going to laugh and he's going to feel sad, but he's going to feel angry afterwards. That's what narcissists do. They feel angry. They feel unrepentant. They feel that they have no discourse on it. So they, like the Deep, it would have ended like the Deep, pretty much. But the Deep was pathetic as well because he refused to say anything. So I think honestly the characterization here, people might think it's perfect, but I think it's quite unrealistic. Well, it's somewhat realistic. You would be begging if you had no powers after you're taken away as a soup. But the key point here is it's still not great characterization. You wouldn't be cowering like that. You would be refusing to admit your failures, your mistakes. You would reason a bit, like he says here with Becca. Like this, right? Okay, he's weak. He takes a beating. He'd be way away. Yeah, like that. Okay, fine. Okay, you can... Well, you would roughly cower in terms of having no power, but being a narcissist feels angry and irritated, and it feels that he has nothing left to lose, so he'll still have... Like, once you start fighting and he punches you more, either you give up or you get angry and you muster all that rage and you cry while saying, fuck you, this is mine, why? So it'd be a bit like the Deep, right? So crying from the Deep when he gets thrown into the land and the sea, he would still attempt to cry for his life. I think the Homelander has... They switched endings. Homelander should have had Deep's ending, in a way. But at the end of the day, these people are brought up by pain and injustice, and they commit injustice through others. And so that's the problem. And, we don't see... It's easy to feel oxytocin when someone gets what they deserve, but that just makes us as much as the monsters themselves are. So, but that's my take on it. I think it was a rushed, poorly crapped episode that, honestly, I think the comics beat the fucking story. Comics beat the fucking show by a mile.